So there's two different federations, or the two big ones with powerlifting. So there's the USAPL and the USPA,
Hmm.
and there's always a scrap for who's better. So at first it was the undrug undrug tested league and the drug tested league or federation. But now, so the USPA used to be fully undrug tested, and now they have a drug tested section to their federation. So they split off. They was like, okay, if y'all don't want to get drug tested, y'all can compete in this league. And then if y'all want to be drug tested, we have a separate league for the drug tested. So they drug test people. So if people want to be a part of that, and then so the USAPL is fully drug tested, but they are sanctioned over this. It's called the IPF, and the IPF kind of makes their rules.
And
And
that was the one that's saying that you can't compete with somebody else for a year.
yeah. They was doing some weird shit like that. Like, oh, if you
Because
compete in
I
another
was thinking at this
federation,
point, I was like, I mean, you cool though, because you haven't competed in a year because of COVID, right? But then that means you just have to pick and choose which ones you do. You
right? I
can't
had
do
to
both
pick. Yeah, I
for
had
the
to pick a
future.
federation. I mean, technically, oh well, yeah. I can't do both. Like, I could do a USAPL and then go and do a USPA because USPA doesn't have those restrictions. But if I do a USPA first, then USAPL would ban me essentially. Okay, so this week, dating and what is it like dating a scientist that lifts? We're gonna tell some stories,
Either
guys.
or.
We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna tell
Don't
some
forget, we're gonna
stories.
keep
We're gonna
track.
get
Counter. Weird counter.
we're gonna keep
I don't
score.
know.
We're gonna keep
How we
score.
gonna how do we define this weird or score or
I
I'm
don't know.
guessing Trevor and Becky are y'all gonna vote who's is weird.
Yeah,
That
okay.
that
Oh yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I can contribute too much to like weird stories, so I'm happy to be a judge.
Yeah.
Fine.
and then we'll have our audience decide.
There
Okay.
you go.
There you go. We'll have
You
our
can set
audience.
up a poll on the Instagram.
There you go. There you go. You got to go listen to vote in the poll.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom. Look at that. Look at that. All right, let's get into this intro, huh? All right. So, welcome back to another amazing episode of At the Bench. I am, I don't know if you can call me your host, but I'm a constant. So you can call me the constant. Dr. Stevens, we have, uh,
You're B.
yeah, I'm
You're
B.
an intercept. You know, like Y MX plus B, you're
Uh,
the intercept.
you got real nerdy real quick. Yeah,
Almost like we're a group of scientists.
you just like,
What?
boom, you're B. I was like, you just like, oh, that's amazing. I fucks with it. I fucks with it. I do. Uh, oh my god. So this week we have in our amazing panel. We got we got Senika, we got Trevor, we got Becky, and this week we're going to talk about dating and what is it like dating a scientist or a scientist who lifts or a lifter. But since we are the scientists who lift, we're gonna mesh them all together. And what is it like dating us? So at the same time, we have what?
Oh, I will say, if you're dating us like non-scientists, they won't get jokes like that.
Mm,
So
true.
yeah,
I mean
they don't
that's
get our sense of humor.
The way that you're saying it, where it's like, oh, what's it like to date us? I feel like this is some kind of like advert. Like, what?
well, no.
Why
Okay,
you should date?
Like,
so why you should date?
Here are the 10 reasons why you should date us.
That's One of those BuzzFeed articles. 10 reasons why you should date a scientist who lives. Number one. No.
They have great corny jokes.
Amazing corny jokes. Top notch science corny jokes. Like, come on, they're amazing. But at the same time, we have to keep a weirdness counter tracker. So Trevor and Becky is going to be our judges. Me and Samnika have a bet going on that we have the weirder dating stories.
Interactions.
Yeah. Who has the weirder date? So you as the audience get to decide. You guys can.
Did Trevor just pull out a pen and paper?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm taking notes.
I've just pulled
It's
out
gonna
my
be
notes
like,
on my
yes.
phone.
Come on.
Well, let's get this going. Like, what's first? Oh my gosh. I mean, listen. It's going
I've
to get real.
literally got pen and paper.
I'm ready for this.
I'm gonna create a spreadsheet and
Oh yeah, let me get Excel opened up here. Give me a second. Yeah.
real quick. I've been waiting for this. Been waiting for this one. Oh my god. I mean, so honestly, okay, dating has been not weird, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting for a couple reasons. It's because I've moved around a lot, like personally. So I've moved around a lot, and being able to date in all these different points of the country or these regions of the country has been. People are different. People are different. Like for real. Like it gets kind of weird. But but with that being said, if you're dating a scientist who lives, we are amazing people. Okay. Listen, we can lift you up intellectually and physically. Look at that. Look at
is that what's in your Tinder bio?
You know what?
Because if it's not, it should be.
It shouldn't be. You know what? I got off of all the dating apps because they annoyed the shit out of me. Like especially during the pandemic, they annoyed the shit out of me because I was just like, yo, I can't. I'd rather be alone than to deal with you people. I don't know what you people. Yes, you people. They're strange. Like, well, okay, so they like especially a lot of them didn't want to do like socially distant dates, and like they wanted they was like, oh, you don't want to take me out to the bar, or you don't want to take me to a restaurant. I'm like, hell no, I don't. Like, right. No, I don't want to take you out to a bar or a restaurant. Oh, you just being cheap. I was like, first of all, yes, I am cheap, but secondly, that's not the reason. That's definitely not the reason. You out here trying to spread COVID. Like, what do you mean? Dealing with people. But all right. So before we get into Minds and Samnika's crazy dating life, we will talk about Trevor, Rebecca. What do you guys have anything to say about dating? Has being a scientist affect your dating life at all?
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much because we're scientists, but more anyone who is doing a PhD or has a job that is kind of all-consuming.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to meet people. I guess at my at PhD level, it was somewhat easier to meet people because you are like forced in like a kind of like university college environment to interact with other people, and like I used to row with my college boat club, so like I had to meet people there. Not that I dated anyone on the boat club, but there was at least I actually had a job opportunity to meet people. But especially now as a postdoc, I don't know about you guys, but like, how do grown-ups meet people? Like, how do grown-up meet, and like not just, and like you were saying, like not just romantically, but like how do we make friends?
Oh my gosh.
I think that most people, they usually say most people either meet people you meet them at work,
Mm-hmm.
at church, at school. Those are like usually placed, like whatever your inner circles are, maybe at the gym, though that's so, but I mean, right now it's hard as pandemic, but it's also hard as scientists because not only, I know most of the scientists that I know, they're not really religious. So most of them don't like go to church. So you wouldn't necessarily meet someone at church. We're of a different breed where we actually go to the gym like that, but most don't do that. So then it's like you either are at work, and that's one thing about just academia in general. I do not really, I was like, I tried my hardest when I was PhD. I'm not dating anybody in my department, or like I learned my lesson when I was just undergrad working at a nurse. I was a nurse assistant working at a nursing home. You don't date people that you work with. You can't mix the work and pleasure, because I can't let that affect my paycheck. I couldn't let it affect my degree. So you're like, yep.
Yeah, what's that saying? Like, you're not supposed to shit where you eat. And
Pretty much.
Like, there's just too many opportunities for that to go wrong and then to affect your career, which is just kind of not worth it.
And it also just seems weird. Like I've seen people where like one person was like a postdoc and a grad student, or even a professor and a postdoc.
I've seen,
and I'm just like,
as well. And I feel like, especially with like a postdoc student, definitely with like a professor, postdoc, professor, God, obviously not professor student, because I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
Well,
but that kind of like,
I just told my friend,
hierarchy, there's some kind of like abuse of power kind of situation. Like if I know a situation where there was a postdoc and a student together, and I couldn't help but feel like there was like a weird dynamic due to the fact that the postdoc was obviously superior to the student.
Are they in the same lab?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see that, because like I actually just told my friend a few days ago that, so she's a professor, and on Hinge there's a guy, he actually also showed up on mine, but he's a graduate student in a whole nother department. So it's like she's in women's and gender studies, he's in engineering. She was like, I can't date a grad student, a PhD student. I was like, yeah, you can. Y'all in completely different departments. Y'all are the same age.
Yeah, if it's different departments, you just happen to be at different points in your career.
And they're like the same age as well. So yeah, I think that's
in your own lab, it gets real weird.
Yeah.
That's when the strange shit comes out. Don't want to do that.
No, and especially because like a lot of labs like consider, like, this is weird, but like we consider ourselves like a little family unit, right? Like we work together as a team, and then like it's like family dating each other. Ew, stop.
True.
Interesting enough, like my PhD lab, most of the people were coupled up. So like 3 people were married, and it was like 2 of them got married straight after undergrad. And then there was another person that he got married in his 2nd year. And it was interesting when we were having someone else, they were like, all of y'all already, they didn't want to come in the lab because everybody was like in relationships. And I was like, that's the reason why you got an issue, because everyone that's working towards this are in. Okay. That was weird. I was like, you don't, it's like your lab members are not your dating pool.
Oh my gosh. What was you saying, Trevor?
I was just saying, see, I'm kind of, I guess, biased on that, because I've met my girlfriend we're going on 4 years now. I met her at work. It was freshman year, and we met that time I worked at Lowe's, so it wasn't anything near the science career, but we were in the same department. We worked closely with one another, and it just went from there. And I guess I can say that within probably 3 months of us dating, we both ended up leaving. So that could have contributed to it. But like, we're still together now. So, I mean, and that wasn't my full-time career. So
true.
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
My ex, we met at work and we worked together for like 6 months. And then we both ended up leaving. And we decided that we would never, ever work together ever again, because there were so many issues with us working together. And it didn't help because he was a nurse and I was a nurse assistant. So you had that hierarchy, and then we had to keep it secret because there was actually a work policy that if a nurse and a nurse assistant are dating, they can't work on the same unit. So we kept it secret so we could work on the same unit. But then it got out and then we couldn't work. And then of course they moved me, not him, because I'm at the lower hierarchy. And then there's other girls in the thing that have issues. So you're just like, nope, you don't shit where you eat. And you just continue to like, we never can work at the same place ever again. Yeah, don't do that. And so after that, I was like, never, ever, if I'm dating anyone, never.
Never again.
Never again.
I feel that. I mean, people have tried. Don't get me wrong. People. I think when I was in Atlanta, she was an undergrad. She tried to date me. I was just like, nah, man, nah, it's not happening. I'm sorry. They
She's like a baby.
right, and I'm just like, ma'am.
But how old are you?
I was 22, 23 at the time.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I just have visions of it like an 18-year-old like, trying to ask you out now, and I'm like, oh my God,
right.
that's
Yeah, I was like, when you were in Atlanta, like, how old were you? Where were you? You're like, she was an undergrad. Damn, were you a first-year master's student? That's not.
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, the same shit happened at Howard when I was a. Now we get into what shit. The same shit happened at Yay. The same shit happened at Howard because when I was a TA that first year, the undergrads, like, so by the time I got to Howard, I was like 24, 25, right? And so these I don't think they were freshmen. I think they were junior, seniors that had to take their chemistry credit and get that last chemistry, get their science credit in. So they took this chemistry lab, right? So they and then they all tried to okay, so it was two things. They tried to
say how many are there?
I don't know.
Too many, he can't even count. Okay.
But it's all it all resulted in the same type of how they shot. Like because at first, because they was like, oh, because a lot of them was trying to get their grade from a B to an A, and they was just like, hey, do you like shoes? Do you like, what size shirt do you wear? Do you like sweatshirts? Do you, stuff like that. And one girl was just like,
Okay.
I got a sugar daddy that can give you some money and blah, blah,
Oh
blah.
my God.
But I don't know if that's actually them flirting with you. They're just trying to raise their grade from a B to an A.
So then, story not over yet. so then it turned into them wanting to go to happy hour with me. And they was like, oh, what you doing after this? And I'm just like, going home. Like, what you mean, what am I doing after this? Going home? There's like, oh, you want to come to happy hour in the bars with us? And I'm like, nah. They was like, oh, well, other people. I was like, nah, I'm not those other people. I'm not those other people. We're not having that.
You're not gonna sacrifice your job,
Right.
your career, because
Right.
you went to happy hour with the undergrad.
It's not happening. No, F that. But it was funny. Well, what was hilarious was when I was taking this biochem class, and it was a mixture of grad students and undergrads because my advisor wanted me to take it because he wanted to see what my knowledge was. He was like, oh, if you can pass my biochem class, then you'll be successful in my lab. And I'm just kind of like, whatever, brother. I half-assed it and got a B, so whatever. And so because I think one of the girls thought I was the TA of the class. She was like, at first she thought I was the TA, and then she found out I wasn't. But then she was like, well, you wanna go out to eat sometime? And she tried to like close my office door while it was just me and her in there. I was like, nah, bro, you got to keep that shit open. You got to keep that shit open. It's not happening. Like, that's not, I can't. But yeah, so they tried. A lot of them tried.
I will say I don't have any weird stories with students. I have, just never had that issue. But okay.
Lucky you. It's weird. It's weird when they do when they try to hit on you. They think it's okay, and they only think it's okay because they had to have tried it somewhere else
And it
and thought
worked.
and it worked. So I was just like, nah, bro. Like we're not going there. We're not going there. I refuse. I refuse to go there. But yeah, that's they and you. What can you do? It's what can you
Yeah.
do?
I don't know. I think like one of the things about just being a scientist, being a grad student, and dating is like, I guess, what are people's initial reactions when because normally when we try to talk to someone, you're like, hey, what do you do?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
as soon as you tell them what you do, it's like their whole perception of you changes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then it gets, well, I don't think I don't think the men, I don't honestly, you guys, I don't think you guys have an issue with that. Yours might change, the perception of you guys might change in a positive light, but I feel like maybe for me and Becky, it changes in a negative light because now all of a sudden we're too smart, or we might be seen as, at least for me, I'm seen as this goody two shoes type person. They're like, oh, if you got to be smart, you wear glasses, you got a PhD, you a whole ass doctor, you're not going to do X, Y, and Z.
What?
Or, oh, you think you too good enough for me, or like the way you talk, maybe
See.
I'm not good enough, or I don't know, or you just that you're too. I think guys don't have a problem dating girls, no matter you can date. I don't want to say beneath your station, but like you can have someone, like you can be where you have a PhD, you can date someone who's maybe just having high school education, never been to college or whatnot. But you could, no, not to say that's your preference, but you could do that without a problem.
All right.
The girl won't feel some type of way. The
Okay.
girl won't feel some type of way that she doesn't have the same education level as you.
Okay.
Dudes feel some type of way when you make more money than them, when you got a better degree than them or whatnot, you so quote unquote higher status. And then they either feel like they got to one up you, put you down in your place, or things like that.
Actually, that's a really good point. There was I don't think it's like that. Obviously, us making money is not an issue because let's face it, we're in academia. We don't make that much money, but I definitely.
Speak for your. I'm a whole.
Well, okay. Us mere postdocs don't get paid that much money.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I'm not even gonna say like that, but like, I feel like we should make more money. But just from where I came from and where most of the people that like, so me growing up in Detroit, the amount of money that I make, people will be like, I'm living good. The fact that I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. So
don't get me wrong. I feel very lucky the fact that I'm able to live comfortably. I can afford a a relatively nice apartment. I'm not like living paycheck to paycheck. I definitely know that I have privilege in that sense. Absolutely. But what I was going to say was I've found in the past that so obviously money's not an issue, but the fact that I have a PhD and I'm a scientist and like I obviously am relatively well educated, I'm not gonna like start like I'm relatively humble about it when like I meet new people, but there definitely has been occasions where guys that I've been like kind of casually seeing, like casually dating, might get very, I don't know how to describe it, they'll get very defensive and they kind of downplay what I do. So like I've definitely had a guy turn around to me before and say that like, well, you're still basically just at school, like you're just at school, like it's not that like I was like an occasion where like I was seeing this guy and he just kind of was like on the verge of like starting to ghost me, which is another topic. Don't ghost people, it's really rude. And I remember like, I called him out on it and I was like, hey, you're just being a bit like unresponsive and don't like it, not cool. And he's like, yeah, well, some of us have real jobs, so I'm too busy. And I'm like, you don't think a postdoc is a real job? Cool. All right. That's all I need to hear. Bye.
Yeah. So that kind of just brings me in. So I guess it's my story or whatnot. So I did try to, it was in my either second to last year of my PhD where I decided to download Tinder and, try to meet some guys or whatnot. So there's this one guy that I met, and it ended up being near. So I remember that we had a snowstorm, where like classes were. No, so it was a lot of snow, and then classes were. We didn't have classes because it was MLK Day, so we had like met the previous week and just hung out and chatted. And then he was like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" So first of all, I had to go pick him up because he didn't have a car. It's fine, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's cool. So we spent the entire day together for MLK Day, literally, like just chilling out at my apartment, watching TV, whatever. And he's like talking, like, and he's like chatting and whatnot. And then like he was like, "Can we hang out tomorrow?" And I was like, "No, because I have to go to work. Because it's Tuesday, semesters, whatever." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then after he leaves, he sends me a text. It's like, "Hey, I don't think you were really feeling me, because I couldn't take another day off on a work day to just hang out with him entirely." And he had said when we first started like talking, and I told him that I was a PhD student, he's like, "You're not one of those who your PhD is your entire life." Because he was like, "I've dated grad students, and some of them, they think that grad school is like the whole life. You're not one of those who like are 24/7, whatever." And I'm like, "No, I still have a social life, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be talking to you." But then he brought up the fact that I wouldn't spend another day with him, like an entire day, because I said I had to go to work. He's like, "Well, I don't think we're going to work out because you have to go to you." I guess I feel like work is more important. My PhD is more important than spending time with him, because I guess he didn't have anything other to or respect hustle. You have your own hustle and whatever you do, and I'm cool with that. And however, but like if you do, I don't know, but I'm not going to judge somebody for how they make a living, but you got to have time. I can't be under somebody 24/7. And I'm not going to not go to work just so you can hang out. But they would expect I don't know if they like just expect for me to drop everything just because they're bored.
Bro didn't have a life. That's what it was.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He did not have a life. You know what? Look, PSA for everyone out there, because I've dealt with this issue as well. Listen, man, we are scientists. We get busy. Like we need someone who has their own lives, their own friends. Like, you have a career that you're going towards. We don't gotta be hanging out every day. We don't even have to talk most of the day. You just be like, "Hey, I'm alive." And it was like, "All right, bet, cool. Keep doing you. Keep hustling." Like, but like you don't have to like be attached at the hip 24/7. Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like it's so maddening that a lot of people don't understand like how science works or how it works to be a scientist. They people be, "Oh, you could just leave. You could just take a day off." I was like, "Yo, it doesn't work like that."
Yeah, because because it's not a job that you clock in and clock out.
Right.
They think you can do whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have I think that person probably would have been more understanding if I worked at McDonald's and I literally said I gotta like be there from 12 to 4 or something, or I had a job that I had to clock in, clock out. But the fact that I have a job that I technically get paid like salary, or even as a student, it was a stipend. There's no specified number of hours. They're like, "Oh, that's freedom. You can do whatever you want." And I'm like, yeah, I have the flexibility. But if I hang out with you during the day, guess what? At nighttime, I got to do some work because I still got to get shit done.
Facts. It's not freedom. I don't know what it be. You know what? And guys, quit being shit. Flexible. I mean, jeez, man. Like I hear too many of the bad.
I'm not gonna shame somebody for not having a car.
I am.
wait, are they trying to get, like, if they're just sitting back, they're like, "You know what, I don't need a car, I'll have other people drive me around," and they rely on them. But if you're working towards it, I mean,
well, so the thing is, the first time he came to visit me, he was driving a car. So I don't know where or whatnot, but when he was like, "I don't, whatever," and I was just like, "Okay, I'll come grab you," which I don't have an issue with that. I didn't have an issue with that. And I didn't know him. I only knew him for like 2 weeks. So I didn't know him long enough to like find that out. Because in my head, it's like, oh, maybe, you know, I'm probably thinking that maybe like, I'm not the person that I'm gonna ask a whole bunch of questions. They'd be like, hey, can you come pick me up? Be like, why I gotta come pick you up? Last time you drove here, what is your car in the shop? Are you out? You're like, I'm not gonna ask all those questions. Like, you know, he could have had a flat tire. He could have had any of this stuff that happened, but I'm not the type of person to ask questions like that. So who knows what was the reason?
Be investigative.
No,
I'm just okay.
I don't want to live life like that.
I feel that unless you live in a city like New York, I think New York is probably the only city that you could probably live in and
Chicago.
like get.
When I was in Chicago, a lot of people didn't drive because the public transportation was so good.
There's public transportation in DC as well, and there's a lot of people who've never left DC, and that's cool or whatever. And then, like the public transit goes outside of DC into like Maryland and Virginia because of the DMV area. But like if you're trying to go further than that, you're trying to go to Baltimore or something like you're not like what you doing? You're not taking a $50 Uber from DC to Baltimore. Like that's not.
Well, when I was in Chicago, I had Zipcar, so I didn't have a car. But anytime I needed a car, I could it was like Zipcar was a thing. Like you pay like a fee, and then you can like rent a car for cheap for like $7 or $8 a day, and you just go to the location where the car was.
Okay.
It was really cool.
Okay. Well, I guess there's alternatives. I'm not gonna hate, but I'm just saying, everywhere I've been, I've needed a car to get around. Like there's
and my friend from high school, he was in Chicago. He had moved to Chicago like a year after I moved, and he makes 6 figures, and he decided to sell his car because he wasn't using his car. Like it didn't make sense for him to drive downtown to go to work, and then anywhere else he could have easily did an Uber or something. So some people intentionally, he was like, it's no point in having this car. So
okay, I guess. I won't get into it. I won't judge.
So to me, a dude not having a car is not a red flag.
No, it wouldn't be to me. In the someone coming from someone is from the UK anyway. Like I didn't even know how to drive until I moved to the US because there was never a need for me to drive. Like I lived my entire life. I lived somewhere where you could I used to walk, I used to cycle, or I'd get public transport. So if someone turned around to me here and said like, oh yeah, like I haven't got a car, that wouldn't bat an eye because in Europe, like 50% of the population don't have a car.
Yeah.
And I was probably I think at that point I was pretty sure that if it hadn't snowed as much as it snowed, he probably would have just took the bus. But I mean, I'm not gonna make somebody take the bus in like freezing cold weather in the middle of January.
You gotta figure out if he really wants to get to you. Does he really want to get to you or not? Like, come on now. The first test. I'm just messing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
How many tests do you set in order to date you? That's
the thing. I know women that they set tests, and
it's like don't play games. No.
Yeah, that's too many games, and even dudes play games with the test that they set, and I'm just like, to me, I don't understand that. I mean, the only test that I really want is I'd be like, do you work out? How much do you bench? How much do you squat? How much do you deadlift? That's the test that I do.
What's your numbers like, bro?
Little CV of lifting.
So here's my CV. These are my current maxes. The competitions I've competed in. The places.
They don't even have to compete. They don't have to compete. I just need to. At this point, I don't think I could not date someone that works out.
That doesn't work out?
Yeah, that doesn't work out. So yeah, At this point in my life, I would have to date someone who understands the gym mentality. Because I've had, another story. So I had this dude where, so I literally was leaving the gym. And this dude, he started talking to me, and I had on my workout clothes and whatnot. So he's like, hey, yeah, you go to the gym and whatnot. And me, I'm like, I'll start talking. So I start talking about like how much I can bench and how much I can squat. And he literally, when I told him how much I can squat, he literally like visibly looked around to look at my backside to see if it matched up to how much I said that I could squat. Like, and I'm just like, really? And then you gonna ask me for my phone number? Like, you're still trying to get my phone number? Like, you're like, oh, you can squat how much? Let me see if you're telling the truth.
Nope.
First of all, squats are like quad thighs, not really the butt. There's other exercises for the butt, but still.
Jesus. What is? Yeah. Like I said, man, guys, please do better.
Right. So I don't even think my stories are weird. They're more so creepy.
So yeah. Okay. So well, then I guess it's my turn because I got a couple some gems. Anyways, so like and like some people don't understand your fitness journey and don't understand your fitness goals. And you always, I know for me, I always got to date someone who just understands that, like, look, man, I got to work out. I got to be in the gym. I used to be a fat kid. So I'm just like, yo, like, I don't want to go back to that. This is what keeps me sane. And to an extent, this and talking to y'all, like, keeps me sane. Like this is what, really, this is my therapy at the moment. So, and some people just like, oh, you don't have to go to the gym today. Like some people, I've dated some women who tried to keep me from going to the gym. It was like, oh, you don't have to go to the gym today. You stay here with me. I'm just like, nah, I gotta get up and go to the gym. No, you don't gotta. You've made it. Your body's there already. I'm just like, and I want to keep it there. So I want to keep it there. So but to get into my gym story though, fuck. Okay, so it was relatively two. Okay, so there was two women and same gym and around the same time, right? So it was back in Maryland, and so both of them were trainers at this Gold's Gym that I went to, and they so let's see who was first. Okay, so the first trainer, she overheard me talking to someone, talking to one of my buddies about school and everything like that, and then like she was training somebody, she stopped training that person and turned around and was just like, "Oh, you're a scientist?" I was like, "Oh, you in grad school? Oh, that's so cool." And so she like just started chatting it up with me, and every time I came to the gym, she was just chatting it up, and then she was telling me how she does like the massage therapy and the sculpting shit, like with the scraper and all the shit that hurts. And so it does, man. And she was telling me about all this and blah 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 blah. And she gave me her number. She was like, oh, if you want to massage or sometime, like here's my number. I was like, okay, that's cool. First, I didn't think anything of it. So okay, so to preface this, like my homeboy was like, I think she got a boyfriend, but I'm not sure. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, if she got a man, then I'm good. I'm good. I was like, she's just being nice. She's being nice.
Or she just or her business, she trying to sell massages.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I was just, oh, I bet. And then then she started texting me a lot. She was hitting me up, actually called me on the phone a couple times. And I remember one day we was talking and she was like, oh oh god. So all right, so this might seem like I was being aloof, but so I was talking about how people would come up to me in the gym all the time to ask me about like lifting and things like that, right? And I was like, man, I can't get people to stop coming up to me. She was like, oh, well, shoot, I got my headphones in and like I put my bitch face on and people don't come up to me. And I was just like, oh, lucky you. Maybe it's just the headphones. She was like, maybe. I was like, well, maybe I need to get some red headphones like you. And
He's wearing red headphones.
Are these the headphones?
The headphones?
I can neither
Your hair headphones?
So
he pleads the fifth. He pleads the fifth.
Okay, so look, listen. So I don't know. She was rich. She had money. So she had.
She bought you those headphones.
No, she bought
Will you buy
herself.
those headphones? Please tell me they're her headphones that she bought you. You are wearing right this second. Oh my god, I love this.
Okay, listen. She bought herself new headphones. She was like, "Oh, well, you can have."
So she gave you her own headphones.
Her hand-me-downs.
I mean, they were like pretty, they were pretty much. I mean, they are functioning really well headphones, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm not above taking someone's perfectly good beat by Dre headphones. I'm not above this. I'm not above this.
Okay, I'm still gonna argue that everything that you've said up until now, she could still just have been being nice.
Somebody's with me. All right, cool. So, she was supposed to. So she and I was just like, because I was getting ready for a competition. I was like, oh, could you help me out with, my back has been real tight. Could you help me out with a massage? I was like, so do you have a place in the gym where you do this? And she was like, oh no, I can come to your place and do it. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's fine. And so at first she was dodging me for a little bit, and then she like called me one day, and she was like, look, I got something to tell you. So I have a boyfriend, and I was just like, what does that have to do with you, with the massage?
Giving me a massage.
What does that have to do with any of that? And then she was like, well, me and him have been in a bad place, and I'm kind of liking you, and blah 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 blah, this and that and this. Then she wanted to talk over lunch, and I was just like, okay. And then she hit me with, it was like, you know what, I see you, and you're like a better version of my boyfriend. And and I was just like, oh, we're here now. Gotcha. And she was just, and it got really weird, because like people was like, bro, you just go ahead and do it. Like she wants you, might as well. Like, you, no strings attached, because she got a man, you just her side piece. And I'm just like, bro. And what made it really, really strange is that
you already took the headphones. You decide.
she told her boyfriend about me. Yeah. She told him about me, and I'm just like, you know what? This is getting too strange. I want nothing to do with this. I'm out. I am out. She got mad at me because I was just like, no, I'm good. But I mean, what do you want from me? Like, I can't. Like, you have a whole drama filled love and hip hop thing going on here, and I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it at all. But then the second trainer, she would follow me around the gym. Like, literally, like when I got there, she would follow me around the gym, talking to me about her problems. And like all the dudes in the gym, because okay, so yes, she was cute, she had a really nice body, cool, whatever, and everybody loved her, but cool, whatever. I was just trying to work out, and she was trying to talk to me while I was doing, like say I was squatting, and she would just be next to the bar. Like, so I asked her, but I'm just like, so we don't have boundaries here, so fuck boundaries, huh? We just gonna keep talking to me. Cool. All right, but and so she continued to do that. My homeboy was like, yo, man, you need to get with that. Like, she wants you. And I'm just like, yeah, but I don't want her. And the reason why I didn't want her is because, like, so I have these standards of dating, and like, so I asked her, I was like, oh, well, did you go to school, and did you have a degree? Are you doing anything with your degree? She was like, oh yeah, I got my degree in this, but I'm just doing this for now, and I really don't have a plan. It's like someone with no plan or determination is the biggest turn off for me. So I was just like, nah, F that. But she kept following me, and so this is just me being, I don't know, you can say I was being mean, but I really needed her to stop following me around the gym. I was like, listen, I don't know what you want out of this following me around, but I don't want to be your friend. You're kind of annoying me because you are talking to me while I lift. I can't do this. And she looked at me, she was like, ah, and walked away. Never talked to me again, which was nice.
I mean, you accomplished what you were trying to do, I suppose.
You set boundaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
There is nothing wrong with setting boundaries.
So I got two morals of that story, or those stories. So the
What's
first
up?
one is, if you're going to date someone that lifts, don't try to prevent them from lifting. Don't tell them they can't go to the gym. Don't follow them around the gym while they're at the gym, preventing them from lifting.
Yeah.
Which is similar to, if you're going to date a scientist or someone that has a PhD or a doctorate, don't tell them, don't go to work, don't do this, don't do that.
I would block you.
I forgot the second moral that I was going to say.
Oh no. Second moral is take notes, so you can remember the second moral.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I have a third moral.
Yeah.
If you don't
Go
figure
ahead.
out the second,
What's up?
if someone hands you free headphones, maybe dig a little deeper into what that could possibly mean. I don't know. Free Beats headphones is a little much to be nice. I mean,
Well, okay, so you have to understand that these people were rich. Like the county that I lived in is like the richest county in America, one of them. And like these people, like she was like, oh yeah, this is nothing to me. And I'm just like, well, it's everything to me. Like what? Like these headphones, like what? But but you're right. You're right. I probably should have. I was being. I didn't think anything of it because I knew, like, the back I was like, oh, she has a boyfriend, so come on.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess women cannot be faithful as well. So
You didn't know that?
I mean, I did, but you know, they're a little less upfront about it.
I don't even know if my second one was supposed to be a moral, but now I was thinking, so to add on to what you're saying, as far as equivalent type stories, there's a couple of them dealing with there. Is actually most of them are the same dude. But when you have the person that's like the trainer, so like I've had a trainer hit on me and do the first, well, so they're a trainer, but talking to them in the gym where they're like, hey, so how old are you?
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh, I'm 28. And they're just asking me a whole bunch of stuff. And then they're like, you look like you're 12. But they're flirting with me.
Oh, is that supposed to be a compliment? Nah, bro, that's creepy.
wow.
That is very creepy.
Oh no.
And then like later, this the whole non-boundary things, but like saying bye, just like, actually just touching shoulder, like bye, and just rubbing shoulder every time. See me at the gym, and I'm sitting up here like, why are you just feel comfortable just touching me?
So, bro,
Okay.
I don't even know you.
And then finally I was stretching, and then they gave me their card. It was like, in case you need like massage. They do massages.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm just like, do you want to give me a massage or a massage? Like, I don't know which one.
He wants to give you a massage.
A little confusing there. But I've had the thing where, okay, so you've gotten you've given headphones to, or you've gotten headphones from someone that you've liked. That someone that's liked you, possibly she probably did, because other than, if she didn't like you in that way, she wouldn't have felt the need to tell you she had a boyfriend before she was going to come over to your house to give her a massage. So I will say, if you're dating if you're trying to, this is a good thing, if you are trying to get into someone that, like, if you're trying to like get a gift for someone who lifts, get them something lifting related. Get them, maybe the massager, like the like, or some version of like the thermal
Oh,
is it
oh,
thermogun?
the
Theragun?
Theragun. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Theragun, or
So,
I've gotten someone for their birthday the paddle wave.
excuse
So
me.
it's called paddle wave, PADOWAVE.
What
It's
is
not
it?
as expensive as the Theragun. So it's
Oh,
similar
oh.
to it, but it's just not. It's another version of that.
That sounded like some freaky shit. So I was like, I don't know what
Oh my
that's
gosh.
about.
I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know you guys well enough to talk about freaky shit. So we're gonna be rated. This is rated.
Explicit. It's already, all of them are already rated explicit.
It's explicit, but it's not NC-17
What? What's it?
or
No,
X.
no, it's not X.
NC-17.
I don't think it's that. I don't.
But it's not.
Can you-
NC-17 is no one under 17. Because explicit can be under 17. NC-17. Okay, never. Okay.
Well, it doesn't give me that option, so I don't think we have
I know that, so we're not gonna. But I've had someone that I was talking to casually mention to me. So this was after I graduated, so I was gonna go to Tennessee. So we were literally on a date, and I was after I was leaving the next day to go to Tennessee, and they were like, "What's up in Tennessee or not?" And they're like, "My girl want me to go to Atlanta," and I was like,
Whilst you're on a date with them.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I started laughing, and they were like, I was like, "I think you just told on yourself."
Yeah, you did.
And they're like, "What?" And then they're like, "Well, we're not together because I don't do titles, but she's my girl." But like, and I was just like, "Okay, I was wondering what we are. I
He's
know
trying
what
to get
we
you
are."
to join the roster. That's what it was.
I mean, like, there is nothing wrong with a polyamory, but everyone involved needs to be aware before, right? Like,
I mean, and if you're dating, there's nothing wrong with dating multiple people. So if you're dating someone else, I don't have a problem with that. But when you get to the title of calling someone your girl, and you say you don't do titles, but calling someone your girl is a title. So like,
Yeah.
I had no expectations of, but I'm just like, so you just feel comfortable just saying your girl wants you to go to Atlanta, wants y'all to go to Atlanta, and I'm just like, okay. I wouldn't mind if you were like dating someone else, but you have a whole ass girl.
Yeah.
And then he tried. So this is also a gym. Then it was like the next time he was at the gym, he was like, "Come here so I can kiss you before my girl come in." I was like, "Are you serious?"
Oh,
before
hell
his girl
no.
came to the gym.
That deserves a slap, a punch, or something.
Well, we were in the gym, and that wasn't, but that there was no kiss that happened. I was like, "Did you literally just say that to me?"
He deserves a slap. That's what he deserves.
You thought. I was like, I don't know what type of girl you think I am, but that is not. I was like, you didn't realize the moment you told me that you had a girl. Like, I'm still gonna go to my gym.
Facts.
That just means we don't talk. I thought we had already that conversation was over with. Once you said you had a girl, and I said, okay, I know what we are. We're nothing. And then the next time you see me at the gym, you're trying to act like everything's normal.
That's pretty fucked up.
So, lesson of the story: don't date someone you go to the gym with, because it will ruin that gym that you love so much.
Yeah. Damn. That's hard. Yeah. That's rough. I mean,
or you have to like change your timing to go to the gym. So like, I still go to the gym, but I just like make sure if I see his car, I don't go to the gym. I'm like, well, we just gotta go to a different one.
But wouldn't it be nice? So wouldn't it be nice to be able, even if y'all don't have the same, like, so not dating someone at work, all right, fuck that, but gym is kind of social. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone to work out, like that workout buddy?
I'd love it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if things go like tits up and they ruin that gym space for you, but I would like to think that I wouldn't even pursue anyone unless I thought, at least if it did go wrong, they'd be adult enough so it could be like you can still hang out afterwards. Like, I don't want to be with someone who it would end that crappily with, you know?
Right.
I don't believe you can be friends when you break up. I don't want to be friends with someone that I.
Oh, you
then
can be
you're-
friends.
you're
I
not
don't
a
think
grown
you
up.
have to be friends, but I mean, like, you can
but be cordial.
You can be in the gym and be like, you can still work out like at the gym together, and it not be like, oh God, I need to avoid them.
Okay. Yeah, that person I needed to avoid. But it is nice to have someone that you work out with.
Mhm.
It is, though. I'm not a person where like me and this person, we could go to the gym, but we're not doing the same thing. Like,
Right.
so I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing, but we go to the gym together, we leave together. That's always nice.
Yeah. I mean, so first, you're not a grown up. So,
Yeah, if you can't do that.
no. Well, okay. So I am friends with almost all of my exes. Like I am like we're cool. Like, so there's 2 of them I actually still talk to. 3 of them that are we're just cordial. Like we're just cordial with each other. There's no hurt feelings. There's no bad blood. It was usually a mutual split, right?
It's the same thing.
Yeah. So we just being it's just okay. So if you're not able to be okay, so caveat.
Wait, did you say that I'm not a grown up because I said I can't be friends with my exes?
You're not an adult. I need everyone out there to know that you have to, if you're gonna date someone in the gym, or I don't suggest dating people at work, but if you're gonna do it, know that you both can be adults after the fact.
I mean, so there's a difference between being adults. I'm not talking about that after we break up, every time I see you, I'm going to punch you in the face or I'm going to slash your tires. It's where we don't even have to talk. Like my ex, the one that I was like with for years, we did talk a little bit last year when COVID happened because he's a nurse. So just checking up on him. And then we kind of like talked maybe in November and had like a phone conversation, but I don't consider us friends. We're cordial. Sometimes we check up on each other, but it's like once a year type of thing.
Okay.
But if I'm an ex with someone, I'm not going to be texting you every day. Good morning. How was your day? Let's go hang out and get coffee or something like that.
That's different. I feel like that's different. Like you can be cordial. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's levels to friendship, but that's a whole nother thing. There's levels to the shit. So, speaking of just weird shit, and so I was on back in Maryland. So I was on Tinder, I think, and so this girl. So okay, so she was Asian, and that's going to be important for later on in the story. And so so we was texting, and it's a short one. Yeah, we was texting on the app, and we was like, I was trying to get to know her or whatever, the shit that you do on a dating app. You get to know someone, and all of a sudden she texts me, and she was like, "Why are you trying to get to know me?" And I'm just like, "Isn't that the point? Like, am I missing the point here?" She was like, "Well, I'm just trying to get my Black experience, and you're ruining it for me."
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry? Like, how? Like, first and foremost, how the fuck was I supposed to know? Secondly, I'm not a piece of meat.
She should have put that in her Tinder. It was like looking for a Black experience, so you can know exactly what you signed up for.
Right, exactly.
So only people that swipe white knows that she's looking for a Black experience.
Right, exactly. Yo, that shit was weird. Never talked to her again. That was, yeah, it was some strange shit.
I mean, at least she was upfront about it. I don't
know. Afterward, like a week later, she was upfront about it.
Oh God! Yeah. I didn't realize you're talking for that long. Why are you getting to know me?
It's like, oh, my bad. I didn't know what the reason of this app. part. So
maybe another moral of the story: scientists have standards.
yes, we do. We do have standards.
Yeah.
Standards. Yes, that's
Dating a scientist. Don't try. So dating a scientist. Don't try to change us. We're weird and quirky.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So speaking of Tinder and like weird messages, actually, something happened the other day.
fun.
Oh, yeah, right. So one thing that I really appreciate is that when I do tell people that I'm a scientist, quite often, like on dating apps especially, they'll try and come back with like a funny science joke, which I'm like, okay, I'm all for that because I'm a massive like nerd in that sense. That I just like love cheesy jokes. This guy, honestly, he missed such a good opportunity for a really good joke. So he said, do you know what the difference between an enzyme and a hormone is? And I literally just put, if the punchline is not, I can't make an enzyme, but I can make a hormone, you need to get the fuck out of here. And that wasn't even the punchline. His punchline was just, you can't hear an enzyme. And I was like, mine was a better punchline. Get out. I don't like unmatched. Don't want to talk to you anymore.
Damn,
mine's not funny.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, moral of the story is if you're going to tell a scientist like a raunchy science related joke, make it a good one.
Make it real good.
Make it real.
Well, and the thing is, we still, and just going back to that, like, we do have senses of humor. Like, you don't even have to you just don't even have to tell us science jokes. You can tell us.
Right. Oh yeah. I only exclusively laugh at science jokes, nothing else.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
My science capacity.
Everything else is beneath me.
Trevor, you want to weigh in on any stories, or have you literally just been, I guess, the date, like your girlfriend now? You say you've been dating her for
4 years now. Yeah,
4 years. So you just have nothing before that
off the market for a while.
I have been. I mean, I've made mistakes. We've all had mistakes in high school. I won't deal with that. So
I have no idea.
Oh yeah,
I was like Dominic said, he was the fat kid in high school. I was the nerdy fat kid in high school that I didn't date anyone.
I mean, I was the nerdy, I guess, recluse. So like, I mean, I had the end of senior year and the end of freshman year of college, undergrad. I had a relationship that basically that entire time, very unhealthy relationship. Got out of that and then started my Tinder phase. That was terrible. That's the moral of the story. Just don't download the app because just don't.
The Tinder phase is always a very dark phase. I'm still living it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, so now I don't have it on my phone anymore. Now I have Hinge. But I've only met 2 guys on Tinder. So the car guy and then another one, we went out. It was really nice, the date that we had, like for cupcakes. And then he just kind of like ghosted me. Like he didn't live in the town that he lived like 30, 40 minutes away. And then he just like he didn't have any time. And I was like, what was the point?
I honestly, it's literally like, it makes me so angry. If people don't want to carry on dating, just be a grown up and say, hey, it's been really nice getting to know you, but I'm looking for something different. Cool, fine. But like just dropping off the face of the earth, literally, it makes you internalize everything and make you feel like you're a piece of shit, which is really unfair.
It is.
It's horrible.
It really is. It's fucked up.
Go ahead, Trevor. Or you were about to say something?
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. You can't base your that's one thing. If you're going on Tinder, don't make sure you have a level of self-confidence, because I mean, if you go in there with a low level of self-confidence and you get shut down or you don't get a match or whatever, that's just going to put you even further into the ground. So you got to go in there with that, you got to love yourself before you expect anything else. But no, when I first started Tinder, oh gosh, I had no idea what I was doing. So my thought process is I wanted to convey myself as an adventurous, free-spirited young man. Yeah, that was. I had four pictures on my profile. 3 of them were with animals that weren't even my animals. They were just, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's gonna be kind of cool. I had me and my roommate's cat at that time. Me and my roommate's bearded dragon. I had him held and like petting him. And then I had me walking a cow. That was another picture that I thought would be the one. That was a main picture. Yeah, exactly. Because that's a right swipe. People want to know what happened in that situation. And then it was
just
just
what happened in that situation. Why were you walking a cow?
Why was
How do you walk a cow?
I never knew that was. They're like dogs, honestly.
Oh.
Like they have like they are like a giant dogs. My best friend, she lived in the area of Ohio that's cornfields, which is 90% of it. But she had a farm, cows, pigs, all that. And I went down to a county fair that they had, and ended up, they showed the cattle, and her sister was walking the cow like a dog. And I'm like, can I do that? She's like, yeah, I'll show you how. She like gives me this leash, and I'm just walking this cow that's like double my size, because I'm what, 5'5". So this cow is huge. Yeah. I'm just walking him, trotting down this little track that they have. It was fun. Yeah, but that's the story behind walking a cow.
That was a lovely story.
Yeah, thank you.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Women should have asked more questions about it. They missed out.
They did. I did have a few that were swiped right, and those were all terrible. I mean, I met great people, none that I'm compatible with. So
yeah. That sucks. That's what sucks about dating apps. I mean, you don't know who the people are until you like get to know them. Then now you wasted your time, and it's like.
I guess you would think we would. Why, as scientists, are we doing Tinder or Hinge where we're choosing what we're like? Why are we not doing like Match.com or whatever the other one that has scientific algorithms where you answer 100 questions and then they're supposed to find the perfect match for you? Why aren't we doing this?
At what age is Match.com like? I mean, at that time, I was like, what, 19, 20? Give or take? Like, what 20-year-old is on Match.com?
Thinking, I'm gonna find my soulmate.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think one of the reasons why I haven't done anything like that, and I have just like kind of sporadically used Tinder, is because I'm not like, I think secretly I'm not looking for anything.
You're not ready for that yet.
I'm not actually ready to. I really love being single. Like I was with someone, but like my last serious relationship ended like a year ago, and we were together for like a year. And prior to that, I was single for like 6 years. And I just really like being single or just like kind of like casually dating. And I feel like Match.com is very like, okay, I'm now gonna
I'm ready for my soulmate.
Yeah.
Ready to settle down.
I'm just not ready. I'm not grown up enough for that yet. I'm only 29, for goodness sake.
Which is actually interesting because I'm 32, and I always thought that I would be like married with at least my first kid by the time I'm 30. And then when I was like 28, and I was like, no, not kids, no. So like my longest relationship, it ended right before I started my PhD. And the way that it ending, it was sort of mutual, but I wasn't completely over him. So I was like, I'm not going to. So there were several reasons why I did not date in my PhD. First, I was like, I'm only going to be here for 5 years. I'm in this city. I was in Champaign, Illinois. Wasn't going to stay there for the rest of my life because I knew that I didn't want to have to deal with the 2-body problem. I didn't want to deal with having met someone and then having to take someone else's consideration when I made my career decision. So I was like, I'm not going to date someone because I want to be able to go wherever the fuck I want to go. And I got to this point, even though I had like been in a relationship where like I literally moved to that city for that person, and I was willing to take into their considerations. Like I was going to try to stay in Chicago for my PhD, but I didn't get accepted to any schools. And then I ended up going to a city that was like only like an hour and a half away. But then I was like, you know what? You can put as much consideration into a person, a dude, and they still don't work out. So you know what? I'm just going to focus on myself. So my last year of my PhD, I was like, you know what? maybe I'll try dating again. So I tried the Tinder thing with that guy, did not work out. There was the guy that I met, the guy that did the look around for the squat thing. And I mean, I'm not even gonna say like, so I actually did give him my number and we were talking for maybe 5 days. And these 5 days, this is what happened over the course of these 5 days. So we're talking with him. I'm told him that I'm graduating in 8 months. I don't know where I'm gonna be at, so I'm not looking for anything serious. And oh, that was another thing. So I tend to attract older guys. For some reason, 30-year-olds don't see me as a viable option. Either they're older than me or they're younger. If they're in their 20s, early 20s, it's because they think that I'm at their same age. And then they realize I'm in my 30s and they're like, oh, you're too old. Or the older guys that are like in their 40s, they're like, ooh, there's 2 ways that can go. They think I'm in my 20s and then they find out I'm in my 30s and they're like, damn, I thought you were in your 20s. Or they're okay that I'm in my 30s and it's just the fact that I'm younger. And I don't actually mind dating older guys. Typically 10, my ex was 13 years older than me. The one that I'm currently, I don't know what, he's 11 years older than me. And it's fine. But this guy was, I think he was 17 years older than me. So I was 30, he was 47, whatnot. And we were talking and I was just like, yeah, so I'm not looking for anything serious. I graduated 8 months. I'm probably going to end up moving. And he's like, you never know what can happen in 8 months. You might fall in love with me and never want to leave.
Oh.
So I did not ghost him. I was the adult about it and say, hey, I think we're looking for 2 different things. And we can't do this because I'm not. But yeah, for someone like, I know you for 4 days. And in that 4 days, I had to go do field work up in like Northern Illinois. And so like he was texting me and I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm on my way back because I was on the train because I took the train up there to do the work. And I was like, I'm on my way from the train. He's like, do you need me to pick you up? And I'm like, no, because my car is at the train station. Like, I don't need you to pick me up. And he's like, when am I going to be able to see you? And then I thought we were going to go out for dinner. Guess what this guy shows up at my house in?
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited. What was it?
basketball shorts, a wife beater, and some slides. Now you know he was 47.
I was like, how old is this man?
He was 47. And I'm sitting here like, are we not going I thought we was gonna go get something to eat, but we can't go get nothing to eat with you looking like that.
Oh.
So we were just like talking and like that was the whole like conversation and I was just like, yeah, no. He also was disgusted that he realized that I had a tongue ring that day. He had a look of disgust on his face.
Oh,
and then my tattoos, he's like, you're not gonna get any more tattoos, are you? What the? Okay, you can't be 47 completely old-fashioned like this, dating a young person and then just be completely unfashioned. I was like, I've never had a look of disgust to my tongue ring.
My God.
I will say that. Like, I've never had an issue.
The first for everything, huh?
Oh no, actually I have. It was when my older brother found out I had a tongue ring.
Oh well.
He's the only one that's pissed off. But other than that, I was like, oh, you're dating the wrong person. I don't know if you thought I was some prude. I don't know what you thought I was. But he also told me, because he also told me that I shouldn't lift too heavy or I might get bulky.
Oh, I love that.
Sir.
Love that.
I've been lifting for like 5 years before I met you.
Right.
You literally met me with me coming from the gym. You can't tell me not to do.
Wait, this is the same guy that did the turnaround.
Yeah.
The irony.
So you want me bulky? You want me bulky on one side, but not.
You can have a bulky butt, but nowhere else.
Yeah, but no, you can't have no traps or no shoulders or anything.
Biceps, ma'am.
Of course not. Definition? No.
Yeah.
Can't be having that.
The only thing women can be are toned. We're allowed to be toned. I want to get toned.
That's the same. Dang.
I
what's
know.
this?
I want to get toned, but I don't want to get too bulky. Fuck off.
Oh my god. Ah.
I hate the word tone.
I hate the word tone so much.
People suck. People suck in that
I've
case.
also had a guy from when I backpacked Europe. So I was on the train from in Italy, and this guy that he was like chatting with me, and so he was asking me. First of all, he told me, because this was right before I started my PhD, and I told him, yeah, I'm backpacking Europe before I start my PhD, and he's like, well, if you're so smart, how come you won't be a doctor, like a medical doctor? And I'm like,
fuck you.
I am going to be a doctor. So we did end up exchanging. So we did exchange numbers, because he was like going to tell me like some good spots around Rome or whatnot. And then he was like, well, the next time you come here, you can come visit me. He invited me to his house with his wife. Like, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to go. Y'all going to lock me up in some basement somewhere? Like,
I mean,
They were gonna.
no.
Wow.
They were going to do something. And then we were, so we were Facebook friends. And then he made a comment on my, on one of my posts about lifting weights. And he was like, women are not supposed to lift weights because women are supposed to be soft, not hard. And I'm just like, I don't know. I've been lifting weights for 7 years and I'm still pretty soft.
I was like, bro, you ain't supposed to be a bitch. Okay, so like my God.
What is this? And it's just like there's just like this. Yeah, this guy was from Nigeria or something like that. I'm like, no one asked you anything for you to post on my page, like on a picture. And I was like, block. Just unsolicited comments about what women are supposed to be.
That toxic masculinity shit is just annoying, and you get a lot of it in the gym, and like dudes want to be friends with dudes who are real toxic, want to be friends with me, and I'm just like, bro, just because I'm strong doesn't mean I think the way you do, because we think completely
That's good that you
separately.
That's good that you'll call it out and stuff.
Oh hell yeah! Like I'll be like, bro, that's toxic as hell. That's toxic masculinity as hell. Like I can't. Like every time. Like so I bluntly honest. That's just who I am. I might hurt some feelings, but grow some thicker skin. I don't know. But man, like that shit just shouldn't be happening. I was like, bro, like you one, you're insecure about yourself, and you're just mad because she probably looks better than you, and she can probably lift just as much or heavier than you. So step your game up. That's it. Step your fucking game up. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
My God.
The dude that compete with me because I can make sure I can't squat him. And then he was the same one that told me on another day, I better be careful or my back is gonna get too big and I won't be able to wear a shirt. But he also wanted my phone number. Because my back will get too wide.
What, so he's gonna have to just walk around with just shirtless.
No shirt on.
Shirtless. Oh.
Trying to figure out.
And can't fit it. There's no shirt.
And then for me, I was like, and he probably, and I was like, okay, so you just talking about my back fat? And I'm like,
damn, bro.
But I was like, you just that's insensitive. I'm like, I'm actually a little. That's like one of the body parts that I am insecure about, and you just and you think that's gonna let me give you my phone number? Okay,
that shit wild. That shit crazy. I don't understand. Like it's just people aren't normal. I will say that. That's because like people in the gym don't understand. Maybe okay. So dudes are just shit most of the times. I don't know why. They just are. I will, as a guy, I will say like there's some shit that I'm like, yo, why? You know, there's just a whole bunch of why.
Yep.
And then but when it comes to dating, like so especially like okay, so you're dating someone in the sciences or something, or because I've dated people or women who are like other scientists, and usually they don't try to they don't try to keep me away from the gym. It's usually people who are non-scientists or non professionals that who try to keep me away from the gym, and I usually like try to steer away from that anyway. Um, and you get the weirdos. Always get the weirdos. Um, and then I've had like 2 stalkers in my past, so you know, it's it's all weird. And like so being I will say this, being a black person as in a scientist in STEM, like you're perceived as this like, oh my gosh, the holy grail of like some dude at the gym
You
just
put on a
yeah,
pedestal. You put on a
like
pedestal.
this holy grail of man is what you are. I was like, oh, you're smart and you lift weights, my God. Like I was like, oh, please, sir.
So yeah. So if you're gonna, how about moral story? If you're gonna date a scientist, don't put them on a pedestal.
Please don't.
Like, I don't feel like you should put anyone on the pedestal, but
Right.
like, I literally, the person that I, whatever, I keep telling them, don't put me on a pedestal. They're like, oh my God, you're my motivation. You are a scientist, you're a doctor, and you lift weights and you have this motivation. And I'm just like, nigga, I'm just like, at this moment, I'm like, I'm struggling to go to the gym. And you still see me as this person that when we go out of town, I'm like, let's go to the gym. Half my luggage is workout clothes. And I was like, that was pre-COVID. After COVID, I'm like, haven't worn like, I was like, you keep putting this perception of me that I am like at the gym 5 o'clock in the morning every day. And I try to do that. And I'm doing it like 70-80% of the time, but it is so much more of a struggle now than it was. Right. And I'm like, I told you, I was like, don't put me on this pedestal because I'm only going to fall off of it.
Yeah, it's I don't like it because you get, I know for me, I get people who tend to like me too fast without actually getting to know. They like the idea of me, like, oh yeah, I like the idea of you're this person, and I'm just like, yo man, you don't even know me and who I am, you know? Like it was like, oh, he's like, oh, you're a scientist, you got a great body, whatever, you're strong, ooh, and
you're the
you're so
perfect
smart.
person for me.
Right, I'm just like,
I love you.
It was like they might feel that way, but and then like I figure out who they are, but they might not be the perfect person for me, you know. And so I'm just kind of like, just because you like me doesn't mean I'm gonna like you. Also, and I've had some. This sounds really arrogant, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've had some of the most beautiful women try to shoot their shot, like in my DMs, like try to shoot their shot. And like after 2 messages with them, I already knew I couldn't do it because they had nothing upstairs. Like intellectually, there was nothing going on up there. I was like, yo, you fine. Keep doing you. But I couldn't talk to you about shit. Like I can't do that shit. Like if you see my DMs, some strange shit. I've been like
I'm sure.
Some most recently, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Most recently, I think I had I think it was it was on my personal page, just a picture of me flexing, right? Some girl slid into my DMs like, ooh, strangle me.
Oh.
What?
I mean, everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's we do not kink shame in this.
No
kink shaming in this podcast.
No kink shaming on this.
I am not kink shaming, but that is.
But as like as an opening line, it's up front.
Yeah, that's one way to say it's up front. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm already scared to. Okay, now I'm just going to get into some really real shit. I'm already scared to strangle somebody during that. Like,
you might kill him.
I feel like I'm too strong to do
What?
such a thing, and I'm just like, I don't know. But anyways, let's not talk about my sex life. but yeah, so I mean, I get strange DMs like that all the time, and then on my scientist on the platform on the brand, like I've had women who live across the country, try to build a relationship with me. Just like, oh, I think you're amazing. I think you're this. I'm just like, what did you think was going to come out of this? What did you? I live. It was. I was like, I live in Maryland, and you live in California. How is this going to work?
You was gonna fly them out. They was gonna get flew out.
Nah,
Especially you got the scientists who live brand, so they think you got money.
Mm.
You was gonna you was gonna get flew out.
They don't realize how cheap you are. So
Oh my god. I just think about, like, I mean, if I was to say like what one of my thoughts with dating is, like, I might be like most people when they first meet me, they might think that like they thought like there was like when I first thought, like most of my friends say like when I first met Sanika, I thought she was a bitch because I just like be in my zone. I'm literally in my head. But like everyone keeps telling me I'm like the most caring person, and I would literally do my therapist also calls it a little bit codependent, but I am a if I was to talk about my love language, I am like an acts of service, gift giving type person. Mm-hmm. So I will do things that are, to me, they don't really seem like a big deal, but then other guys be like, I always get the problem with guys getting attached to me too quickly. Because apparently I spoil, they be like, I do things that other women wouldn't do. Okay. So I'm like, oh, you're like, I've been told like, oh, you're gonna spoil me. And I'm like, what? I just like, you was at work and you said you was hungry and I Grubhubbed you some Jimmy John's. That's and it sent you to your job. What's the problem? Or like you were asking me what I was gonna eat. And we like, so it was, I was like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to, like, so I was in Detroit. So with the guy that I currently, I don't know what we're doing right now. But when I was in Detroit, it was like when we first started talking, so he was at work and he was like, what you doing? He's like, what were you eating? I was like, I might eat some tacos later today. He's like, well, what are you going to eat right now? And I was like, well, I was just going to eat some leftovers from the night before for breakfast. And he's like, oh, well, because he's like, I'm kind of hungry. And I was like, you want me to bring you something? So I went to Coney Island and brought him to work. So I bought him breakfast to his job. And then later that day, I still was going to go get me some tacos. So I texted him, was like, hey, you want some tacos? I can bring you some tacos. And I brought him, he's like, oh, you're going to spoil me because you didn't brought me food twice in a day. And I'm like, this is nothing. Do you know what, this is not being spoiled? What do these people? And then when I talk with my brothers, they're like, no, Detroit women, they don't bring food. They want you to give them food. And I'm just like,
they don't.
Oh.
They don't.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then but my sense of humor, so since the guy that right now is like 11 years older than me, so for his birthday last year, he's older than me, so I got him like this card about being old, and then I put a whole bunch of Aspercream and like stuff in the bag, and then I also got him the paddle wave because he does have like he works out, so he sometimes have muscle aches and stuff, like lower back pain. So he had this big ass box with just a whole bunch, like literally so much Aspercream and hot and cold packs and stuff, and then he's just like, I was like, you're not, but I did ask him, I was like, you're not like touchy about your age, are you? And he's like, no. So I was like, okay, so you're going to get a box. And I was like, you have to record, you got to call me, FaceTime me when you open it up. So I actually have like a screen recording of him opening it up. But those little things, and those are things that I'm doing, like this is like a long distance thing. Yeah. But that's my thing. I was like, if you're going to be long distance, you have to do those little things together. And I'm like, but hey, you don't have to decide to move here because like jobs, you're a personal trainer, I'm a professor. And that's why we're like in this little thing that we're in right now. It's like, I can't move to Detroit. So right now we're trying to navigate, and just COVID is the problem. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you too, like Dom was like, he's too cheap. It's like somebody gonna have to fly somewhere.
I mean, I guess so another thing about dating, just in general as a person, know your love language. Because if you don't know how you love or how you receive it, then you're not in a position to tell someone else what they want. Um, so for me, it's like quality time, um, physical touch, and I'm more of an acts of service person. So, and the acts of service is like doing cutesy dates that are meaningful, whatever. So, with the time spent and the physical touch, I don't need to be
I don't need to be
touching
under
you.
you 24/7.
Right, I don't need to be touching you, or I don't need to be around you 24/7. Like we could be in the same space working,
Mm-hmm.
and just to know that you're there, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's I feel like knowing that, and explaining that to a person, and it helps them understand you better in that case. Because a lot of people want to spend all your time. That I think I had that problem in grad school. People wanted all my time, and I'm just like, yo, I can give you the time that I have, or that I'm willing to expend to you, but I can't give you all of my free time. And there was like one person who understood that, and that's it. So a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't understand that, nor do they want to understand that. It's just like, well, if you don't have time for me, then I'm just like, well, then shoot, this ain't gonna work out. Then if you feel like I'm too busy, then I'm too busy.
Yeah, mine to love is acts of service, giving gifts. Mine to feel love is quality time. So like it took a while for me to explain to a certain person that I don't want to be texting you all throughout the day. To me, that means nothing, because text messages are like, that's not quality time, because you can be doing something else. When you're texting me, I'm at work, I respond to your text, I'm still doing something else. I'll respond to a text while I'm in class or something. I would rather have 30 minutes, an hour talking on the phone or video chatting every other day than to be texting all day long.
I feel that.
And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, I don't care. They're like, I'll let you know more about what am I going to do. I was like, I don't need a play-by-play of your day as it's happening. Let's just catch up at the end of the day.
I feel that. I do. Oh man, guys, this has been a great conversation.
Who won?
Yeah, I was just about to say, do we not need to announce like our
I mean,
verdict?
well, you can announce your verdict. Do it. Give it to the people.
My vote's going for red headphones, 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree.
I'm sorry, but it was
agree.
a resounding sweep for the red headphones.
That's a weird.
Well, I mean, maybe not weird, but just the context of the story what I enjoyed the most.
I mean, the fact that he's wearing them right now.
Yeah, I just feel like
that kind of just ties it all together.
It was very good storytelling. It was very underrated. And then when we found out the headphones, like there was a plot twist.
Oh, they were good headphones, man. Like and I actually stopped wearing them to the gym because I didn't like them. In because they kept falling off. Like, I don't know if anybody remember my earlier lifting videos, but like they kept falling off when I was deadlifting, so I just stopped wearing them to the fucking gym.
Because they have a cord to them.
No, they don't. They're cordless. I just use the cord for
okay.
the podcast. Yeah.
Okay, so they're Bluetooth. Okay, because I was like, I can't do a cord while I'm working out.
They're Bluetooth. But yeah, I mean, and then I was like, oh, we're gonna record a podcast. Instead of buying like a mic just yet, we'll see how the podcast goes. I was, this works as well.
Too bad she didn't buy you boys headphones, because you can have high quality sound without the cord.
Oh, maybe she didn't like me as much as I thought.
She already had a girlfriend. I mean, a boyfriend.
Facts, major facts. Oh, guys, we have had a long conversation. Hopefully they hopefully you as the listeners enjoyed it.
I don't know if we really gave him any tips or anything. We
I
just
don't think
had
we did. We just you know,
stuff.
this was one of those filler episodes. You know, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z and have like a filler episode? Yeah, it's one of those.
Mm-hmm. They spend the entire episode just powering up or
doing crazy
Bulma
shit.
having a baby.
Yeah, and it's an anime filler episode. There we go. That's what we got. That's what we got. It's well, you know what, you might have lost here, but in the opinion of the listeners,
No, I mean mine probably wasn't weird. They were creepy. There were people wishing I was 12, upset that I had a tongue ring, upset that I would go to work.
I would say you
wanted to put me
the
in
creepiest.
wanted me to be in the, wanted to kidnap me and with their wife, probably locked me in the basement.
Oh gosh. All right, let me wrap things up. Hey, this has been another amazing episode of At the Bench. Thank you, Samnika, for your 9 crazy, weird, creepy stories. Trevor and Becky for being
Of course he's gonna thank y'all. Y'all gave it to him.
I think everybody at the last, you know what, man? Whatever. Whatever. You can be petty, you can be hateful. It's okay. I've had a crazy life. It's fine. I'm all right with that. But hey, listen, be happy, be healthy, be well, be safe out there. I'll catch you guys on another episode of At the Bench. Peace.